Guardiões são protetores.
Somos verdadeiros protetores de água, floresta, animais.
Qualquer coisa, petroleiro, qualquer ou madeireiro, me matam.
Uma opção onde não existe. Onde não existe no mundo.
Destruir Amazônia é, em parte, destruir a nós mesmos.
Morre se preciso for por esse pedaço de floresta que existe.
Ele marcou o peça pro mundo.
Subtitles provided by Mavi, transforming together, making accessibility for all.
Eu sou Jana N Nagase, do Jana on Camera, também escrevo para um jornal brasileiro aqui nos Estados Unidos. I'm Jana N Nagase from Jana on Camera. I'm also write for a Brazilian newspaper here in the US. So it's such a pleasure to talk to you all. Um prazer estar falando com você, Edivan. E quero saber de você, Edivan, do princípio, né, como que você conheceu o Rob e a Chelsea e como é importante esse documentário para você. Você está mudo.
Então, obrigado pelo convite, né? Agradecer o espaço aqui para falar sobre o filme Somos Guardiões. E, como eu sempre falo, né, não é apenas mais um documentário, né, apenas mais um filme. Então, é um chamado para a campanha, é um chamado para as nossas ações, o que fazemos. E eu conheci Chelsea, né? Chelsea e Rob bem no início, né, do projeto, né, do We Are Guardians, Somos Guardiões. Em uma das suas visitas que eles fizeram aqui no Brasil, né, para contar o que estava acontecendo aqui no Brasil, né, por que estava tendo tanto desmatamento, tanto queimas, né, queimadas da floresta. Então, em um desses momentos eu tive a oportunidade de encontrar eles, né, eles já estavam gravando algumas cenas com a liderança, né, que é a Puir Tembé, do estado do Pará, do povo Tembé. Então, né, eu gostei muito do trabalho que eles estavam fazendo, né? Que era, né, mostrar a luta dos povos indígenas para, né, tentar de alguma forma defender, né, a floresta, defender o seu território. Então foi onde eu recebi o convite para compor a equipe do filme, né? Para mim foi uma honra, né? Até os dias atuais a gente está junto, né? Para somar no que for possível para levar essa voz o mais distante possível.
For you, Rob, what attracted you to this subject? You know, because I'm Brazilian and I'm very glad that you guys are talking about this. But what really attracted you to be talking about climate change, to talking about Amazon?
Well, this is, our future. And I'm an environmental filmmaker. I've been making films for over 10 years. And as soon as I heard about the fires happening in the Amazon in 2019, there was an immediate calling to do something. At that time, the fires were making international headlines, and it was very confusing what was going on. Why are they burning the Amazon, or are these wildfires? And so I felt a need to do something and to help be a part of whatever I could do to help. And part of my journey and part of my help is being a messenger in this way, being a bridge. So, and I know Chelsea had a very similar calling, which is interesting because we didn't know each other at the time. She was halfway around the world hearing about the fires as well. Maybe you want to talk about that too, Chel.
Yeah, so I grew up in Vermont, and the climate change there is so apparent. It's one of the fastest warming states, on average 7 degrees of warming. I spent time in Indonesia following a story about the Dayak Indigenous people fighting against palm oil companies, and learned about the importance of tropical rainforests. And during that time, when I was shooting there, it was like 2016, 2017, they were talking about how Brazil had changed the way and was a global leader, actually, from 2004 to 2012. Deforestation deforestation was reduced by 80% in the Brazilian Amazon, which is the largest part of the Amazon rainforest. And this is a huge area. And so I remember thinking, thank God someone's doing it. Someone's making an example. So when I heard the Amazon was on fire, I was just struck by the injustice of it. I was like, why? You've made such good progress. You become a global leader to regress and have a president go on TV and tell people to burn down the Amazon. And so I just had to go and do something. I just thought this is a critical moment in climate change globally. We're experiencing fires everywhere. It's just so wrong to set fire to the Amazon forest and burn it down for short-term profits. I just couldn't let it happen. I had to do something.
Thank you so much. We need to expose that more. Edivan, a gente sabe, né, como nós brasileiros, que essa situação da Amazônia vem por muitos anos, né? Isso vem acontecendo por muitos anos, mas nos últimos anos, né, 2018, 2019, é uma coisa que ficou muito mais forte, né? Você já, depois que mudou o governo, você sentiu uma mudança na Amazônia? Como que está sendo para você, né? Esse tempo todo que você está aí vivendo, né? Porque você vive aí a realidade, né? Diferente de mim, que estou um pouquinho longe.
Isso, exatamente.
Você vive essa realidade aí. Você sentiu alguma diferença?
Sim, com certeza, sem sombra de dúvidas. Mas eu sempre, né, deixo destacado assim que o governo, né, muitas vezes ele entra, passa outro governo e sempre a gente está ali lutando para preservar, né, a nossa casa, né, a floresta amazônica, nossos territórios. Mas, assim, a gente teve um grande avanço, né, com o governo atual, né, por conta de também, né, demarcar novos territórios indígenas. A gente sabe que o governo anterior, né, ele cumpriu a palavra, né, que não daria nem 1 centímetro de terra para os territórios indígenas, para os indígenas. Então, durante o seu mandato, ele não demarcou nenhum território indígena, né, muito pelo contrário, ele retirou, né, as leis, né, que protegiam os territórios, né, não só os territórios, mas, né, a garantia, né, do direito dos povos indígenas. E com o governo atual, foi um pouco contrário a isso. Então, né, teve territórios, né, demarcados, né, então teve secretarias, né, que é voltado para as questões indígenas, e é claro, né, sem sombra de dúvida, a criação do ministério, né, que é algo que a gente, né, pela primeira vez, né, na história do Brasil, tem uma secretaria, ou então um ministério, né, dos povos indígenas e liderado por indígenas. Então, isso é uma conquista muito grande para os povos indígenas.
E voltando para você, Edivan, tem a escolha, né, das pessoas que iam aparecer no documentário, né? A Luciana, o Valdir, eu acho que o Marçal é seu irmão, porque vocês têm o mesmo sobrenome, ou seu parente. Então, assim, como que foi essa escolha, né, para você? Do ponto de vista de brasileiro, que depois eu vou perguntar para eles do ponto de vista do filmmakers. Como que foi para você essa escolha?
Então, essa escolha, por exemplo, do Marçal, né, que o Marçal é um parente meu, né, pelo sobrenome, é do mesmo povo, do mesmo território, moramos na mesma aldeia, então o Marçal sempre foi um guardião, né, sempre um guardião que lutou ali para defender sua família, né, para defender o território. E quando Chelsea e Rob, né, vieram para o Pará, né, para acompanhar uma outra liderança, né, que é a Puitembé, eu tinha comentado com eles, cara, Chelsea, Rob, vocês precisam conhecer Marçal, a gente precisa conhecer o território Araribóia, porque é um território também que é muito sangrento, né? Teve muita devastação, muitos madeireiros, muitos conflitos e morte de lideranças. Então, né, mostrei, né, para eles que o Marçal seria uma pessoa interessante, né, um guardião, né, que é da terra, que é do território, que vive ali, entendeu? Então, na hora quando eles viram o Marçal, logo imediatamente eles viram assim, nossa, essa pessoa é a chave do filme. Então foi muito especial o momento, né, com a equipe com relação ao personagem Marçal.
Legal. Now for you, Rob and Chelsea, you guys, of course, you guys went to the process to find the perfect subjects for the documentary. How was like that, create this trust between you both Americans with the Brazilians there? They're working already, not just some of them are not working. Like Valdir, he was a logger before. So, but how was like to create this trust with them?
It was so important to us to be able to really speak freely and listen without judgment to Valdir, to Pui, to everyone we were encountering. It was, part of the core of the film and our spirit of what we wanted to carry was a space of listening, of understanding what's going on for you in your life, what's happening in the Amazon from your perspective, and not trying to bring in too much of our own ideas and our own biases, but really to understand what's going on from the people of the Amazon. And so meeting Valdir, for instance, that was an incredible time in our lives. I mean, we were out in the middle of this indigenous territory, scared, not knowing who we were going to meet and not knowing how Valdir or any of the other loggers that we might approach would respond to us. But we went up to him and we asked, hey, this is what we're doing. We're here to bring more information back to the United States, back to other areas, even to Brazil. We want to understand what's going on for you, what's happening in your life. And it's almost like Valdir had never been asked those questions before. He had never been given that kind of recognition or that kind of moment to be like, hey, what's it like for you? So I think he was almost waiting for an opportunity to speak his heart and speak his mind in that way. But it was huge for us. I mean, the trust built, especially with the indigenous people as well. That was incredibly important and also challenging at times. It's there's been a lot of unfortunate relationship or meetings with journalists, meetings with different newspaper outlets, media that come to territories like Edivans, like Pui's, and they come in, they get their story, they're there for a couple days, they leave, the indigenous people never hear from them again, they never respond or have any more communication. And it's a wonder, what those stories are really doing for the people sometimes. And Edivan, I know him and his relatives, they wonder what those are doing. And so we wanted to be different. And we definitely strove to set up a space of communication, of openness, and of please, like, tell us what you need and what you're experiencing. And with our impact work, what really helps your community right now? What do you really need, and how can we help support that?
Yeah, and what a beautiful thing that we have been able to create the trust with the characters in our film. Thank you to all of them that were able to go on camera and speak, even though they were threatened with their lives for doing so. Thank you guys. Tadeo, we don't talk about Tadeo, the landowner, that often, but I mean, he's had his life threatened multiple times for saying anything about the invasions in his land, that he was trying to turn into a biodiversity reserve. Valdir, and he's no longer working, but at the time he had his job and his life threatened, as well as ours for telling this story. And we just wanted to give everyone a chance to speak, and we went forward authentically. And Edivan helped so much forge these relationships with the indigenous communities. Once we had him on the team, it was just smooth from there with the relationship building.
That's amazing. And for you both, like Rob and Chelsea, have you ever thought give up any moment throughout this process? Because it's tough. It's like it's dangerous, and I know it's dangerous. Have you ever thought like, oh my God, we need to give up talking about this? What I don't know. Have you ever thought about that?
I don't think we ever got to the point of giving up. But there were definitely really challenging moments. I mean, like Chelsea was saying, we had our lives threatened by the loggers at one point. We had our lives threatened by indigenous people that didn't want us in the territory because they support agriculture coming in and more business to enter the territories. So yeah, there were many moments. I mean, editing the film too, it took us a year and a half to edit the film. And Edivan was a huge part of that. He was up in the United States with us for several months at the end of editing to help us finish it. And it was a long process, but I think there was a deeper energy and again like a calling that was pushing us forward that kept drawing us on that we couldn't stop. There was no way that we were going to stop. This message is too important, and it really feels like we were here in this time to deliver this message and be a part of protecting and regenerating the forest there.
Right, well said, Rob. And we also had made promises throughout the process and forging these relationships with the communities. Like, no, we will help you get supplies for the Forest Guardians. This film will help get more support for your reforestation projects. And even though it's not released yet, largely just in Netflix in Latin America, it already has been. And so we're really excited for that momentum to keep going for them. It was hard. The hardest part was editing.
I imagine, I imagine, I imagine. So, Edivan, eu perguntei para eles, né, se teve algum momento, né, que eles desistiram, queriam desistir de parar de fazer documentário, né? Então, assim, a pergunta para você também. Teve algum momento que você achou, não, a gente tem que parar de fazer o documentário, tá muito perigoso. E mesmo agora, né? Você continua, você tá aí ainda, se sente assim ameaçado, tem medo, alguma coisa, mesmo, né? Porque eles também falaram que tem outras tribos indígenas que eram meio contra. Como que tá esse sentimento para você?
Olha, assim, com relação ao filme, né, se desistia ou não, eu nunca tinha passado pela, né, nunca tinha imaginado assim, não, a gente vai ter que desistir, não pensei. Muito pelo contrário, né, a gente sempre falava, bora fazer isso, né, a gente tem que fazer aquilo. Mas os momentos que eu achava, assim, teve momentos que eu achei muito perigoso, né, porque a gente sabe, né, que a equipe, né, queria umas imagens, né, de conflito, assim, né, então esses momentos eu ficava assim meio, porra, a gente já tem que fazer isso, né, a gente não sabe nem o que vai acontecer, né, já pensou, a gente tá gravando com os Guardiões e né, a gente encontrar os madeireiros, a gente não vai saber o que é que pode acontecer, então esses perigos eu era ciente, então, mas eu não queria que acontecesse também, né, mas esse é uma das coisas que eu ficava assim meio preocupado assim. E é claro, né, sempre teve sim na época da filmagem, né? Foi bem, né, justamente também na época né, do governo anterior, né, que era contra, né? Então eles né, deixaram as coisas acontecerem no território livremente. Tem que entrar, então tem que desmatar, tem que plantar, tem que ter gado. Então, né, tiveram algumas ameaças, inclusive Chelsea e Rob, né? Eles, né, tiveram um pouco de ameaça com relação a isso, né? Tem uns americanos aí e tal, fazendo filmagem, né, mostrando um pouco, né, do que está acontecendo. E foi uma época muito perigosa até hoje, né? Porque a gente sabe quem defende, né? Quem luta pelos direitos, né, dos povos indígenas, pelos direitos sociais, né, são sempre um alvo, né? Para fazer alguma coisa. Então a gente tem que andar sempre vigilante, né? E eu aprendi muito com a ministra Sônia Guajajara, né, e ela não mostra, né, onde ela está naquele momento. Se eu estou em algum evento, né, eu não mostro naquela exata, eu posso mostrar um outro dia, mas sempre com essa preocupação, né, de não estar mostrando as coisas em tempo real. Então a gente tem um pouco de preocupação com isso também. É claro, pelas denúncias que a gente faz, né, então tem que ter esses cuidados.
Que bom, maravilhoso. Chelsea, can start with you again. The movie is being have an executive producer, such big names like Leonardo DiCaprio. We have some other directors other producers that already did documentaries, not just focus on Amazon. The importance to have those names attached to the documentary. How is it important for you and for Robbie to have them connect with We Are Guardians?
Of course. Well, first of all, working with Fisher Stevens closely creating this film was a dream come true for us because Rob and I had already been a fan of his work. And so for our first time directing a feature-length documentary of this scale and budget and everything, we were just thrilled. We couldn't have done it without him. He was such a big help with storytelling and expertise in that way. And for Leo to join, which he joined kind of close to the end of the filmmaking process, it was huge. I mean, he helped it him and his film production company, Appian Way, helped to get on Netflix in Latin America through their personal connections. And now we just found out he's agreed to post about the theatrical tour and the film coming to theaters on his Instagram and YouTube and Facebook today. So that's, just the reach that can help bring is so important for a film like this. People who know his work can now connect with what we're doing. And it's so aligned with the other things that he's supporting. Like Rewild, his foundation, has been a partner in promoting the film in the premieres in Brazil, for example.
I'm very happy.
Expanding the network.
Yeah, I'm very happy that everybody's going to be able to watch it here in California, especially because it's going to be in La Melin, Santa Monica. I love it. I think it's such an amazing documentary. The editing is amazing. The pace, everything, like touch a little bit of everything, what's going on over there, especially like with the big companies. And Rob, what we can do, like us, like regular people like us, like me, what we can do to be a guardian, like for the Amazon or for the world.
Yeah, that's a great question. To start with, we have a direct link to the Guardians themselves that were in the film. So if you have a little bit of money that you'd love to donate to the cause to help support them, that would be amazing. They're needing help getting drones, getting equipment for their missions, even just to get food when they're going away from their families, because they're volunteering for this work. It's just incredible that what they're doing, putting their lives on the line, and they really are the last kind of front for the protection of these forests and these areas. So it's incredible what they're doing, and we're so grateful to have an opportunity to support them. But here in the United States, understanding and educating yourself about these products that are coming out of the Amazon. And then recognizing that as consumers, we vote with our dollar when we go to the store. Buying things like Amazonian hardwoods for your deck, or understanding where you're going to find beef that could be coming out of the Amazon when you think about McDonald's or even Costco and Walmart. These are stores that also were supplying Amazonian beef. Writing a letter to the management at these, establishments, maybe your local Costco, let them know you don't want to see Amazonian meats or Amazonian products in these stores. We can divest as well from banks associated with the investment of the deforestation of the Amazon. Chase, Bank of America, HSBC. There's some big ones, some major ones that we can say, hey, like I have a credit card with you, and I let them know, like I'm going to stop using this credit card and I'm going to a different company because I don't support this. And I think at the bottom of it, recognizing too that we all are guardians. We all can step up and we can protect the Amazon, or if we feel like the Amazon is so far away, I have no connection there. You can be a protector of your local watershed, or your local beach, or your local forest that's probably facing potential of being cut. Here in Oregon, we have so much deforestation happening in huge ways, and so stepping up, running for a local office, doing a trash day, even just bringing together the community around a farmer's market, making art and putting up a mural, in town that's gonna just, brighten people's day. I mean, it can be a lot of things, but just recognizing that the spirit of guardianship is there for us all. And the Indigenous guardians, like, oh man, with their courage, their strength, there's such a ray of hope for me in the world. And so I'm like so honored to have gotten to spend time with them, to be creating with them, and it's amazing. I really hope people can get out to see the film and to get to be there with us for these events where Edivan with Pui are going to be in attendance to get to speak to everybody. It's going to be very special.
Amazing. Edivan, e o que que a gente pode fazer agora em português? O que que a gente pode fazer para a gente ser um guardian? Eu e as outras pessoas que vão estar assistindo essa entrevista.
Então, eu acho que, né, o que nós precisamos fazer é fazer o que a gente faz, né? Então, né, proteger os territórios indígenas, apoiar o filme, né? Então, com as ações, né? E, e é claro, vigiar, né? Vigiar no sentido de que a floresta ela não é só para os territórios, não é só para os indígenas que estão lá, né? Não é só para os que estão território protegido, né? A floresta em pé é para toda a humanidade. Então a gente tem que vigiar, né? Tem que cuidar da mãe terra, porque sem a terra a gente não vive, sem a Amazônia não vive os povos indígenas. Então a gente precisa realmente, de fato, né? Fazer com que as coisas sejam, né? De fato protegidas, principalmente a vida dos povos indígenas, porque é o que está, né, segurando, né? Toda a floresta, né, que ainda nos resta. Então, para você ser um guardião, eu acho que você já está sendo um guardião, né? Só de estar aqui com a gente, né, compartilhando o seu conhecimento, a gente também, né, compartilhando com nossos conhecimentos, com o time do Somos Guardiões, que é Chelsea, Robbie e outras equipes que estão, né, por trás de todo esse projeto, eu acho que é fundamental, né? Então, é importante a gente levar cada vez mais, né, mais distante possível, né, essa voz dos povos indígenas, levar o Somos Guardiões nos lugares mais distantes para que as pessoas possam conhecer quem que está defendendo, quem são as pessoas que destroem, quem defende. Então, eu acho que todos nós devemos ser os guardiões.
And I know that we're going to have a conference in November in Belém, and you guys are planning to go there, Chelsea or Robbie?
Yes, we're going to screen the film and help our partners facilitate events and important discussions and hopefully bring the Guardians to participate.
That's amazing. You know, it's a subject that you can be talking and talking and talking, but I know you guys have a precious time as well, and I want to thank you so much for your time. Edivan, quero agradecer muito pelo seu tempo, por estar aqui falando comigo. I'm very happy that you guys are able to finish the documentary. I know took some time to do it, but it's amazing and I cannot wait for everybody to watch it. Edivan, agradecer demais.
Obrigado pelo convite.
Obrigado e tamo aí junto e vamos ser guardiões sempre. I won't be able to go on Friday because I have another commitment, but I'll be spread the word. So I hope everybody can go there. Tá bom?
Thank you so much for helping.
No, thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah, muito obrigado, Jana. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Subtitles provided by Mavi, transforming together, making accessibility for all.
If you like to support or continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share the videos.